That would be good for this game. So we're gonna. So we saved it off. We're gonna go play against the AI real quick just to make sure we can at least get that Squirrel Titan to go. And then this is just gonna be more of the silly decks. Let's see. I should have my. Apparently, I must have closed it. Let me go get back into our TeamSpeak here. Oh, I am in TeamSpeak. Okay, it just didn't show up on my bar for some reason. I guess TeamSpeak now goes to your thing. This seems pretty awesome. So, yep, the 2 bottles and then, yep, okay, let's. We got resources to play our Chlorophyllia. We've got our Fist to ramp into. We got Bottled Vitae, which is going to help us push forward. We've got the 3 resources we need to get to the basic requirements for his charge power available. 8's a lot, though, for a charge power. I just wanted to be able to pump out dudes. So I do want to draw a card, I think, here. Yeah, let's draw a card now. Yeah, there's that Induction Coil. Hexproof. I think we talked... Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. Hexproof. I thought Hexproof was the... I don't know, whatever it is, I'm basically, I think what's happening now is I'm playing so much Hex, I'm thinking about it so much that some of the Magic terminology is starting to get deleted from my memory. It's like pushing it out, which is probably a good thing. I mean, I still remember what, I still remember Magic, but yeah, it really is. It's much slicker, much more streamlined game for sure. So Chlorophyllia here. Boo. Hello, Vulgara. I'm not sure how long you've been there, but so sorry I didn't say hello earlier. So unfortunately, I don't think I'm actually going to get to play a Squirrel Titan this game. I think I'm just simply going to play Fist and win. Let's see how many charges. I'm at 3. Chlorophyllia doesn't give me... Yeah, unfortunately, Chlorophyllia doesn't give me charges. Oh, yeah, you know what? The Mana Dork gives me charges, though, I think. Ooh, he's going to get rid of one of my cards. So, Vitae is what we will dump here. So I want my shard so I can play my Fist in this following turn. I'm basically dumping out my hand anyways. After I was watching your YouTube videos, I brought up the Slackerbacker, and I'm sad to now that I didn't support them in Kickstarter. Right, and you can get on Slackerbacker, and you're going to be at least one... at this point, probably at least one wave behind if you want to get into the alpha. Let's see, do I want to block this guy? I don't even think I care. No, I don't care. I'll take the 2. So, I mean, Slackerbacker's still, like, for $50 you're getting something like half a box or a box and a half of cards. I can't even remember. It's like 30 packs for $50, so... Corpsefly had to hit your champ to... No, the Corpsefly says when it comes into play. So, oops, I can't even... There it goes. Troop enters play, each opposing champion chooses and discards a card. It says, and notice it says each, so this would be in the case of, in the raid setting, when there are 3 decks playing against a raid boss, as what they're going to be doing for PvE. So if a raid boss had played that, then all of us would discard one. And again, we don't know a whole lot about PvE, but if you played like the WoW TCG PvE, which I actually bought some WoW cards just to see what that system was like as I was investing in this company through Kickstarter. It's pretty interesting. It's a pretty interesting system. Okay, so I'll basically play my Fist, and then this computer player would cry if he had tears, but he doesn't. So. Sensei trade for the Corpsefly seems pretty good to me, but I don't think he'll make that trade right now. So it seems like the computer right now, it's okay. It's not great, but it's programmed. I mean, I can basically read what it's going to do. Like in this situation, it's going to take damage until it's below about 10 health, and then it'll start blocking. Yeah, he's going to swing in with the fly. Yeah, I kind of figured he would do that. Although, really, there's nothing else he could do in this situation. Because my guy basically has Crush, which is like Trample. The drawback for Fist is that he has to attack every turn. That's pretty much and he is targetable, I guess, by a few things. Does it double block? It does not double block yet, as far as I know. It won't double block. Yeah, it doesn't, and also, like, there's like an 0-4 that gets the same power as its toughness when it's on the attack. It has no idea how to use that card. It will polymorphic Dingler its own guy, which turns him into an 0-1 Dingler. Because it looks at polymorphic Dingler as a buff, because it doesn't enchant a creature, but for some reason it looks at that card as a buff. So it makes a lot of silly mistakes right now. So, but that, I think, is probably not the first thing that's on their mind. They need to get all the cards working properly first. We'll go ahead and draw a card here. Sacrifice this to draw. Chlorophyllia doesn't do a whole lot for what we're trying to do here. I'd rather Induction Coil to gain more charges, to get this Squirrel Titan in play. So what turn is this? This is like turn 4 or 5. This guy's going to attack automatically. I don't think I really want to... yeah, I might as well just leave him up. He's trading for the 2-1. I'd rather just make him block, I guess, or something. So I almost have Squirrel Titan Squirrel Titan charges up. I'm not sure what the fastest I could do it is, though. He's gonna murder my sensei. That's mean. You can't murder him because he's indestructible. He isn't just, you know, invincible means that he's not able to be destroyed. So, taking 5 here. I'm still pretty far ahead of the power curve. So I get a Squirrel Titan here. That's nice. Got that. The Howling Brave should also give me a charge, I think. Does it? No, it does not. It only gives me resource threshold. So we'll make our thing. Yay, Squirrel Titan. And he is... Oh, it has Rage. When it attacks, for some reason it has Rage. Is that right? I didn't know that it was supposed to have Rage. I don't think it does. Right, it has Crush, though. It has Crush. Oh, I don't think it's supposed to have Rage because it's not on the card. It's probably not reading it. It seems like a lot of cards are reading this icon for Rage, and it's not actually there. I could be doing that at the end of his turn as well, because I believe it's not a basic action, which it's not, so I should actually be testing that to make sure that I can do that at the end of his turn. It's unfortunate that Chlorophyllia doesn't give me charges, but that might be a little bit overpowered with this champion. Lots of Mammoth Squirrel Titans for my opponent to deal with. Alright, well, we'll play this against a player after this. I don't know, John might challenge me or something. He's streaming right now as well. John won the tournament, the very first tournament today. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to see it live. I got home, and after the kids went to bed, I spent 30 minutes watching it. Unfortunately, the last game of the tournament, was a lockup, which there's been very few freezes, actually, lately. So that was a little bit surprising. don't know, if I had 2 induction coils, it's only 1 charge, so that would still take a while to get 8 charges for the Squirrel Titan. So this is kind of like not really a serious deck. However, in the future, if there was something like one of my favorite planeswalkers like Elspeth that could put out like 1/1s with maybe like 3 charges or something like that, that might be neat. You know what I could do is I could try to use this with the white, like some sort of diamond deck. It really wasn't that close in my opinion. I think that Crone had some hands that he probably just shouldn't have held. I didn't look at Crone's hands, but game 1 he held 6 and he didn't have a play until turn 3, and they're both playing basically a mono red decks or a ruby decks. So yeah, it was an 0-2. It went to 2 rounds. I actually knew as soon as I looked at it, the clock, he only streamed for 30 minutes. I said, well, this is going to be a 2-0, so we're going to play this silly deck. Squirrel Titan, ho! Judgment is that one that I think it costs 6. It's 3 diamond threshold, and it says both players sacrifice everything but their highest cost constant in play or something. So unfortunately, it leaves things in play, so it's not the greatest. Okay, so what do we got here? A shard for a Howling Brave. A charge bot. Oh, we got Vitae to give us draw power. He's playing the mono ruby, so I think we have to draw again, unfortunately. Because he can just burn our Brave, which sets us too far behind, so we're going to draw again. Crash of Beast seems okay. It's going to be a little bit slow. Vitae will help us a little bit, so hopefully. No, I'm good. I'm sure a lot of people are going to be playing the mono ruby deck that John was playing now, as that's basically the deck that dominated the tournament. It kind of evolved a little bit and it got better as the tournament. People found out more and more efficient cards to use in it. But right now, because it's really clunky to play anything with like dual resources. So yeah, he's playing more of an actual serious tournament deck. I'm playing silliness. The Chaos Key is going to be really slow against him if I had sideboarding. If sideboarding were available, I would definitely side it out in this matchup. Oh, he's playing Blood. Okay, so maybe this is not as serious a deck as I thought. I thought it would be mono ruby, so maybe this will be okay. Maybe we'll have some fun here. Okay, we'll play this. I'd rather not play the Chaos Key. I think I'd rather just cantrip this guy in. When I say cantrip, it means that I'm basically using a card that does something like this: gains me a life, gives me a charge, and I throw it into my graveyard, and it also draws me a card. Drew into this Howling Brave. I can play that here. Hopefully he doesn't have a ruby resource to play a burn. Burn would deal 2 damage to my guy. It says deal 2 damage to target creature or player, which is very similar to what was that card in Magic? See, I'm forgetting all my Magic library right now. I mean, I think of Lightning Bolt, but that was 3 damage to target creature or player. What was the Magic equivalent of burn? It's called I forget what it's called now. There's probably been a couple of them, really. Been quite a few, like burnish type cards. Shock, yeah, shock, there you go. 2-point shock. You know, burn is basically a 2-point shock. Same thing. So we've got Crash of Beast coming down this turn, which seems pretty good for us. I actually don't even have to exhaust my Brave. I can actually attack with it this turn. So yeah, I'll go ahead and do that first, and I'll go second main phase, play my shard, and then play Crash of Beast. So you really want to watch your priorities. So we're going through our attack phase. I just declared my attack, pass priority, attack priority, declare defense, defense priority, and then after defense priority it's like hands off keyboards, because we want to make sure we get our second main phase so we can play stuff in our second main phase. So second main phase, we'll play our Wild Shard, and then we'll play this wonderful, wonderful Crash of Beast. Crash of Beast is going to escalate, giving us more and more rhinos every time. It's giving me a 3/3 Crush Rhino right now. And it just basically tossed itself back into the deck, and the next time I draw any of them, I get two rhinos when I play it, and the cost doesn't change on it. So it's pretty ridiculous. Pretty good value by itself. Very similar to the Centaur spell in the last Magic set. It's gonna be bad because actually I pretty much quit Magic, so like moving forward with the game, like as years and years of Hex start going by, I'll still be referring to Magic cards that no one knows anything about, which would be somewhat funny. So we can play both of these in our second main phase, and that seems fine. We'll go to our attack step first, though. We don't really need this guy for any resources, so he's going to get aggressive here. That's an aggressive-looking Howling Brave, that's for sure. He's aggressive. So at this point, yeah, he's pretty much done nothing for the first couple turns. I kind of wonder how his deck is built, or if there's some problems there. And I'll play a Chaos Key here. There's not really a big reason for me to play this Howling Brave at this point. I mean, I have board control. I'm 5 points swinging in. So I might actually just sit, because he could have Extinction at some point in time. I mean, I kind of don't have a whole lot of, like, junk on the board, I guess, really. Yeah, there's an Extinction. Okay, so he's playing Extinction. I guess that's kind of interesting. Playing Extinction in this deck. He's not drawing a single Ruby Shard. I don't know if he messed up his champion or something, or what. Maybe he's playing... Yeah, maybe he just didn't put the right champion in here or something. I don't know. Maybe we'll see a Ruby Shard soon. So, at this point, it's not looking great for us. If we had our thing that... Okay, well that helps. We can cantrip here. So we'll play our Shard. Play our Sensei. Draw a card. Okay, we got another Shard for next turn. We'll go ahead and play our Brave here. If we draw a Fist, that's a big problem for him. He has no good answers, really, to Fist with both Ruby or Blood right now. Both Blood tries to destroy things, which Fist is immune to, and Ruby tries to do burning damage to things where it's dealing toughness damage, and Fist doesn't care about that either. So, because he's invincible, which is the same as indestructible. So if I were to play a Fist here, that should probably just be the match, I would think. So... So he obviously doesn't have any... Maybe he has like another murder or something. It's not a big deal. Oh, there's that Fist that we were just talking about. So we'll play that in our second main phase and be a little bit surprising for him, I guess. Swinging in... Yeah, Fist is pretty crazy. I think that he could easily be unique. He looks like some sort of crazy character of some sort anyway. So, I mean, a 7/7 for 6 is already pretty good. But the fact that they give him Crush, Invincible, he's just ridiculous. There's something like 4 cards in the format right now that deal with him. So that's a possible 16 answers you could have in your deck for him, depending on what shards you're in. He is not unique. That's why people typically are playing 4 of them. And so like someone will like swing in with a Fist, and you'll be like, well, at least that's over. And then in their second main phase, they'll play another Fist, and he blocks for 1 turn for you. So because he has to attack every turn. Okay, so he's playing a High Tomb Lord. I guess that kind of matches up okay. Not really. He's not big enough yet. High Tomb Lord gets +1/+1 for each card in all graveyards. So he needs to put some more cards in graveyards, and I can Chaos Key him away if I really felt the need to, but I really don't at this point. I'll just let Fist go to work. Now he could... I mean, he has to get him up to 8 toughness is what needs to happen here, so he can just block Fist all day and not worry about it, and just laugh at him. But hey, charge power, Squirrel Titan. I probably should have actually held off on that, but it's just too much fun to play the Squirrel Titan. It's a big squirrel. So we'll go ahead and let Fist swing in by himself. There's really no other great attack to make. I mean, I guess it could be aggressive here, but I'd rather not. Every time something dies, this guy gets bigger, so I might as well just let it go. I don't want to get him closer to his goal of making that guy bigger. Now, he could Extinction here, which would kill his own High Tomb Lord. But it wouldn't take care of my Fist, so I think it should be GG here. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Extinction really kind of handles his own guy. I can even swing in with my Squirrel Titan if I wanted to. So if he could like double murder here, or maybe what do you call it? I always call it Pyroclasm, but it's actually what's the card? Memorizing cards is important, by the way, especially if you're trying to become a commentator. Heat Wave would deal 2 damage to everything, and that would make his High Tomb Lord big enough to block Fist off, and then you could murder my Squirrel Titan, and that would be pretty good for him right here. So Heat Wave plus murder would be pretty good. He's got six cards in hand. Looks pretty good. That he could have that possibility. However, if he did have that possibility, I would have expected him to have already done it. So chances are he can't do that. Another interesting thing about Hex, I'm sure you guys may or may not know, is that these threshold, like, as long as he has 1 ruby threshold, he can play as many burns, for instance, as he wants to. Okay, so he's going to burn. I guess he burned my Howling Brave. Okay, so that makes him a 7/7. So he's pretty big here. He's pretty big, pretty beefy. I can still Chaos Key him away, so it's still not. I'm really not in a bad situation right now. What is this? Throat Slitter. The other orcs you control get Rage 1. Okay. It's kind of an interesting, fun deck, I guess, for him. And a Blood Aura. Target troop gets permanent +1/+0 and life drain, and he is giving that to the Tomb Lord. He's really making it a lucrative target because now it's a 2-for-1 for my Chaos Key. And so that's going to have to happen here. So he's going to swing in, I guess. 2-for-1, and what else does it give him? And life drain. Okay, so he's going to get some life back, I guess. Alright, because I'm going to let him deal damage to me here. I really could care less. 9 damage is fine. Saves him, it gives him a turn to maybe try to recover. Maybe he has another High Tomb Lord in his hand or something. But, I mean, I've got a Squirrel Titan and some, I guess not really Charge Bot and the other one, but Squirrel Titan and Fist are coming through here. So, other unfortunate part is this is basic action speed, so I have to do this in one of my main phases, so yeah, I'll just go ahead and do this right now, it's fine. Not that he wouldn't have expected that to happen. Yeah, I mean, I'd rather just keep the 1/1s on the board. I mean, taking that much damage is fine here. I still have plenty of health left, so I'd rather not, because like his next guy is going to be huge. So every time I let a guy die, I'm guessing he's running more than just 1 High Tomb Lord in this deck. So there's a very good chance that I'll see another one pretty soon. Oh, this guy has to attack as well. Squirrel Titan has to attack, apparently. But it obviously doesn't have rage because it would have gotten a front end. Yeah, I mean, it's debatable either way. I mean, I could chump him off, but I mean, I don't see a major purpose to that. Plus, that's a 2-for-1. That Chaos Key just basically 2-for-1. The Blood Aura being 1, the High Tomb Lord being 1, and my Chaos Key being the final 1. So I got Chaos Key for 2 of his... One Chaos Key for 2 of his cards seems pretty good. Yeah. So I think what I'm going to do is try to see. Right. I mean, right now the biggest Shin Hare card that we've got is Hop Hero Samurai, and it's not in the game yet. So John was just saying in his other stream, it's according to the patch notes, the next major patch, not like a stability patch or like something small that's going to fix like here or there or little things. It's going to add like 10 more cards that will be playable, and it's supposed to fix a bunch and then rebalance some. I actually hope that in the future I get the chance to play some more kind of like alpha material where we're testing out decks and testing out cards before they hit other stuff. I hope that I get invited to do that stuff. I would love to do that. I'm also looking forward to apparently there's going to be a time when... Alright, so we're going to play Silliness. It's nice to play like casual decks again. Okay, well this looks like this might be a little bit more of a... So what he is playing is most likely the deck that keep this. That runs, I forget what it's called, the Ancestor's Chosen. The Ancestor's Chosen. So if he drops a turn 1 the Ancestor's Chosen, it's not the greatest for us. We drew 3 resources. We're kind of on a slow hand here, so not the greatest, but whatever. We're just playing casually tonight anyways. So we'll see if he draws a turn 1. If he drops a turn 1, the Ancestor's Chosen, this is not looking like our game at all. Just saying. So my first drop will probably be Bucktooth Commander with what I have in hand, unless I draw into something. We do have 1 drops in this deck, we just didn't draw any. Okay, Bottled Vitae seems pretty good. If you're going to play in 2 resources, Bottled Vitae is like a must, because it's like it's an artifact, so I can play with anything I need to, and it's going to draw me a card. It has that cantrip effect, and additionally it charges up my champion. So it's like the best of everything, especially right now because we don't have a card that does any type of fixing whatsoever for us. We will have Shards of Fate, which is pretty much very similar to what do you call that? I just forget my magic cards now. There are actually 2 different cards that did the same thing, but basically it means your resource comes into play tapped, but you actually get to pick one that comes into play, depending on the resources you have available. Feral Ogre seems pretty good. Be a flying trampoline Feral Ogre pretty soon. Which would be kind of mean. So yes, we're going to Bucktooth Commander, and then we're going to make a Battle Hopper, which will be a 1/2 Battle Hopper. Okay, well, where were you earlier? So yeah, we'll go ahead and do this. And pass priority. Okay, there we go. Make our Battle Hopper. And apparently it didn't get buffed. Okay, well that's awesome. So it's probably the same problem that has that you've got with air superiority. Same thing. I think I had to play the Battle Hopper first and then play the Bucktooth Commander, and then it would have gotten. It might buff it after I play this Sensei. It might catch up. I'm not sure. We'll see. If it doesn't, we really can't play this deck anymore after this match. One Eye is the Diamond Steadfast guy. He is the Diamond Steadfast. Oh, every time I see a wolf, I expect them to be playing the one that flies, so maybe this is more of a casual deck. This seems kind of casual, so. There's a Glimmerglen Witch. Alright, gain some life. Sure. Glimmerglen Witch is pretty underrated, I'd say. It's a really great sideboard card, again, especially against the Mono Ruby aggro, which dominated this tournament, this past tournament. So definitely not blocking with my Bucktooth Commander here. My Lord, as it were. I'll take the 2. He's at 0. I mean, I could make that trade. It's an okay trade to make, I guess. But I'd rather have my Anthem effect on the board. The nice thing about this matchup is that he doesn't really have removal. His removal just gives things not able to attack or block. So that's going to be really bad because it's all spot removal and I'm playing lots of tokens. So hopefully I should just be able to make so many dudes he won't be able to handle it, and I'll be able to mass block whatever he has and then eventually just swing in with too many dudes. My son, my oldest son, likes to say this all the time. Like, I'll be doing something, like I'll be like, hey, look at all the cars, and he'd be like, so many cars, Daddy, so many. I don't know why he says it like that, but it's humorous. Let's see, so if I play the Rune Ear Commander, he gets +1/+1 for each troop I control, which is awesome because that works with the Crash Beast even. So he would be a 3/3, which really wouldn't be good enough. The Concubunny seems okay here. but most likely we're just going to play Sensei. And then we've got the Wild Growth if we need it. So I can block and then... So let's see if it catches up here. No, it just drew me a card. Okay. Huh. So I have Wild Root Dancer. I have the one resource to play Wild Growth here. I have no other plays this turn. So I'm actually not going to play this resource so that I'll have it for my second main phase to play with this Wild Root Dancer. And of course Bucktooth Commander's still not helping me out. So, wow. That's unfortunate. I have to look to see if it's a... I wonder if it's a known bug. That's an important thing too. If you guys do get into the alpha and you start trying to report bugs and be good, that's good. Make sure you're doing that. But before you report your bugs, make sure to check the spreadsheet. There's a spreadsheet on the forums on the Read This Sticky First for the bug reports, and it has all the current bugs. And then basically, like for this one, I would look up like Bucktooth Commander, and it would probably be on there. It's probably under like all the Anthem effects that are not working properly. And when I say Anthem effects, I'm referring to Glorious Anthem. Glorious Anthem is a enchantment and magic that gives all your creatures +1/+1. So like Bucktooth Commander gives everything +1/+1. So it is an Anthem effect. It's funny how it is that, like, when we see things multiple times, like the very first time or the thing that made it famous is like what we start naming it after. So yeah, I'm just gonna take it. I have to take 5 here. There's really nothing else I can do. Gotta save my guys. They're my guys. Of course, it does give me the ability to attack the Bucktooth Commander, but he's at 29 life, so I mean, I'm gonna have to start blocking yours eventually. Would be nice if that Bucktooth Commander is actually pretty worthless for me. Actually, I probably just should have blocked him off now, because he's not even doing anything. He's basically a vanilla 2/2. When I say a vanilla 2/2, it just means that he's a 2/2 that doesn't have any abilities. So we're gonna do this properly and not mess up. Okay, thank you for looking that up for me, Z Decor, because otherwise I would have had to do that. So thanks for doing that for me. I do appreciate that. You guys are also welcome to join me in the TeamSpeak and the Hex CCG Pro TeamSpeak if you like. I am in there, and I do click in and interact with you that way. So we're going to buff up this vanilla Bucktooth Commander, I think. We're going to go ahead and buff him up. Yeah. We still have resources for Wild Growth. Actually, I probably could have blocked him Wild Growth there, so I'm just not paying attention. This is which happens a lot when I'm talking to my stream. Which is actually one of the reasons why I shut off my screen when I was in the tournament. I'm on the defense here, so there's no real reason to attack. I mean, I guess I could have attacked with Sensei, yeah, because his guy wouldn't have blocked, but I'd rather have more blockers available. So I could actually, if he were to attack in, I could actually block both of his guys. I don't know if he's running any type of, like, Wild Growth type effects. He's got 3 cards in hand, I've got 5, so that's kind of an advantage to me. Righteous Paladin, okay, that guy needs to die, but unfortunately I don't have any direct interaction with him. So yeah, 3/3 Righteous Paladin is pretty good right now for him. Bottled Vitae, yeah. And he can sack the Vitae and make him bigger. If he attacks in here, I don't have to be worried about any combat tricks if he uses one of his Vitaes. Otherwise I have to be cognizant or aware of his Wild Growth. However, I can counter his Wild Growth with mine. So he's going to swing in again here. Maybe, maybe not. No, he doesn't have Wild Growth. He didn't even try to bluff. Okay, not even trying to bluff. Okay. It's kind of interesting. Yeah, we're gonna start seeing this Bucktooth Commander that didn't do anything for me start getting out of control here. So play the resource. Second main phase, we'll play our commander. We have resources open to Wild Growth if something crazy happens, which probably is not going to. Alright, attack step. Swing, Bucktooth. So the tradesies here would be like his paladin. If he wanted to if he just wanted to trade 2 cards, it'd be paladin and ogre. He really doesn't want to give up his scrivener. He probably doesn't want to give up his paladin. He can buff. He can gain a life. Okay, so he's just gonna chump it off. Okay. And that seems okay, because he's already done his job. He came into health, came into play, gained some health. Now he thinks, you know, he has the advantage, but I'll play this guy for the Bloxies. And he's pretty big. 5/5 seems pretty good. I still have the Wild Growth in hand, so I'm in a pretty good position. I can actually even block with my Root Dancer if I wanted to in Wild Growth now. I really don't think he has Wild Growth in hand. He only has 1 card in hand right now, so... I mean, it's looking like somehow I just took over this board state, but really, what just happened was I played a Wild Root Dancer, and he didn't have anything like that. Or he isn't apparently playing it in his deck. The other thing I think that's crazy about Wild Root Dancer is pretty awesome. I don't think I can type and talk at the same time. I should get something that like when I talk it types. I talk it types. Remember that commercial? So what really happened in this game was I basically played Wild Root Dancer. Well, he should be using him to buff his guy. I don't know why he's not using him. So his guy can get up and become a 6/6 here, but then I just Wild Growth it, one of my guys. So I can actually swing with both of my guys if I wanted to. Win 7 has TTS built in. I'm not oh, Windows 7. Yeah, I expect it not to work properly though, because it's Windows. So the Concubunny is basically for free at the end of his turn every time. Oh, and it does cost me a resource, so be cognizant of that. So we'll play this. We'll just keep making the Bucktooth Commander. We're just gonna swing away with Bucktooth Commander because this guy blocks just fine for us. We know this guy can be 6/6, so it's already a bad block. We'll play our Concubunny in the second main phase. It leaves our Wild Growth mana open. We won't be able to use the ability right away on the Concubunny to make these Battle Hoppers. We'll have to wait because it's an exhaust ability, and just like you can't attack right away when you creature comes into play, you can't use your exhaust abilities right away. So like if you had like a Mana Dork, when he comes into play, you can't respond. You can't just use them right away unless there is something that gave all of your things speed, which is the same as haste in Magic. Speed allows them to use all their abilities as soon as they come into play. So there we go there. Second main phase, we'll go ahead and play our Concubunny. Just gonna make lots of dorks, lots of dudes, lots of little chump blockers basically at this point. He doesn't really have, I mean, he's got one guy that can trample or crush, do some crush damage. We're gonna leave resources up for Wild Growth because I'd rather do that. Concubunny's gonna keep making Rune Ear Commander bigger too as he keeps making more basically 0/1 blockers. So that's kind of an interesting interaction, I guess. I guess I could play a deck where it plays more of these two cards. In draft, that would probably be pretty good. Bucktooth works with Concubunny. Well, Concubunny is a Shin Hare, so it should give Concubunny the +1/+1. Yes. I've said it before though, like the biggest problem with the Shin Hare is the fact that they're tribal, so it's like only other Shin Hare you get +1/+1, not like all green creatures or all wild creatures. Could easily have been that, and then that wouldn't have been too much, I felt. But we've obviously seen things like, or well, actually in the Kithkin deck that I used to play back in the day, it was all Kithkin, so yeah. I don't know. Maybe it does. Maybe it's better that it's that way. I don't know, because, see, as we just keep getting more and more champion powers, this is a card that could easily become a staple that gets reprinted, or it goes away and then it comes back, and it depends on what kind of charge powers are in the format, really, I'd say. It's rather slow, but with a control deck that draws cards, for instance, this could be pretty good. Potentially. It has the potential. So he drew cards, he's got 2 cards in hand. He can make his guy a 7/7. No, he doesn't have resources to do that. Let's see what we got here. Command Tower. Alright, now our stuff's bigger. Did he gain life again? He did. He gains lots of life, apparently. That's his thing. Alright, so that helps out a bit. We'll do this at our end step. We won't play Induction Coil here, because I need to use both of these abilities. I need to have resources over for both those abilities. So we'll just go ahead and do what we've been doing before and just keep swinging through with Bucktooth Commander. It'd also be funny if there was something that like gave all my stuff like flying for a turn or something. We've seen flying in Wild, which is like the craziest thing for me, to see the fact that green actually gets flying in this game. Like on good creatures, not on like a bird of paradise, you know? I mean, that by itself is worth noting. Yeah, there's no reach, but there may not need to be if everybody gets flying. I mean, so far, I think the only ones that don't have flying are Ruby. Well, no, they have Ash Harpy. Yeah, like everybody has flying. Like flying is not like isn't shard dependent like it is in Magic. Like in Magic, your whites and your blacks and your blues, those all have flying, but not so much in like in green or in what's the other one? Red. I mean, red has it to an extent. I mean, more than green does for sure. Yeah, just keeps gaining life. He's gaining a lot of life here. So this game's going to go for a long time, I can already see. So he just keep playing. He must keep he just keeps top decking immortality is what keeps happening. It's like it's going on top of the deck or something. Of course, with the Vitae, that helps him draw it as well. I bet you could probably play some sort of life gain deck that's all it does, is it just plays those and you wouldn't have to come out of Diamond at all. Oh, I forgot to do the Concubunny at the end of my end step. Oh well. Again, that's what happens when I start talking. Yep. When I first started streaming, my wife would be like, "You're not even talking to anybody over there." She's very supportive. Ooh. That Bucktooth Commander, I tell you. Let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6, so 7, that makes it 10. So there's his defense priority, so I just Wild Growth. Does he have Wild Growth to respond with? I wonder if that's a little bit disappointing on his side of the table. Probably is. Yeah, because during spells, he would have had to respond. He didn't have any response. So now in the next turn, I can start swinging through with like all of my troops. In fact, I could probably just go ahead and Concubunny now, so I don't forget. Yeah, I'll tap one of my Battle Hopper things. Sure, we'll make a dude. Comes into play on tap, so I basically get the guy back. Yep, got his command tower. Play an Induction Coil here. And pass turn. I guess the commander just got his. So that's a lot of damage. Let's see, we got 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 33, 34 damage in the next turn. and he's got 3 cards in hand, so maybe he has some sort of, I don't know. If he has that card that makes it so I have to sacrifice everything except for my highest costing card, then that would make Rune Ear Commander into like a 2/1. If he has, whatever it's called. Okay, Righteous Paladin. That helps him a little bit here, I guess. So now I can't really swing in with everything, which is kind of unfortunate. Or I can swing in with my big stuff. I can swing in with all my heavy hitters, no problems now. Seemed kind of late, just playing those. Yeah, he can't really swing in with Scrivener. Scrivener! So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He's out of resources. He has no combat tricks. He hasn't played a single inner conflict yet. I didn't have the resources to play my Induction Coil at the end of the turn. Oh, there's a Crash of Beast. So we'll make this guy even bigger by playing our Crash of Beast in the first main phase. And then we'll also Concubunny. Boop, boop, boop. Might as well tap that guy. Resurrection and Judgment. Yeah. Resurrection costs like 9, though, I think. It's pretty ridiculous. I mean, Resurrection could probably come down some and still be, you know, not... It'd still be somewhat playable. I mean, it could easily cost like, I don't know, 7. Should be fine. 9 seems a bit much. The typical consensus amongst most card players is that if something costs like a certain amount, then like it needs to win you the game. Like basically anything that costs like 6 or 7 needs to like do something so game changing that it wins you the game. He could actually kind of swing in here if he wanted to, and then I have to trade a lot of stuff for his guys, I guess. I mean, maybe he has an inner conflict for my... oh, Battle Beetle helps. Okay, so now he has attack phase, at least. So you can give it flying. He doesn't have him gemmed, though. Do you know how to gem your dudes? He must be pretty new. Oh, he gave him all lifelink, I guess? Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, obviously Battle Beetle is one of my favorites, and it's one where I like to throw the Spell Shield gem on it. So he swings in here. I'm definitely blocking. Okay, yeah. All right. So the block sees here. He has nothing to do here, so we're gonna block with the Rhino and the Sensei to his Paladin, and then this guy, we'll probably just chump him off. That seems fine. Declare defense. Alright, so here we go. Big guy. Take care of this big guy. Let's see, if I did want to get rid of him, I would have to give up my Dancer, and I'm not gonna do that. And I do need to prevent damage here, though, so we'll go ahead and do that. Yeah, Blood Wild is decent. Again, everything in dual shards is really clunky right now, so it's really hard to deal with. I feel like he could have held off on this attack phase and just sat for quite a while longer and started just swinging through with Battle Beetle, because he can give him flying. He's got plenty of resources. He's not got a lot to do otherwise, so I guess that gains him some life. So now I really have to make sure I'm getting more offensive. Unfortunately, I think I have to keep one of these guys back again, though, to make sure I can block his Paladin. Oh, there's another Crash. So that's actually pretty good. Actually, now that'll make it so I can attack with both my guys. Well, I mean, playing dual shards is not horrible, but I mean, there's really no fixing. So, I mean, you're going to get hosed, like, I would say at least 1 in 4 games. And that's really not good odds. Because those are non-games for you. You're not playing the game at that point. You're basically sitting there taking it because your deck can't do anything. I might as well Induction Coil here. I'll make it look like I can do something, I guess. I'll bluff with this other Induction Coil in hand. And attack step. Yeah, so we're going to swing with both. Right, yeah, it is too bad. And I remember my early days of Magic. How about we just call it Conjum and different... Okay. Sure, this is casual deck. Anyways. Sure. Let's just call it here.